Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Tim Edge, the voice of the Maple Leaf Finals at Exhibition. And for this year, the host of a special series celebrating and showcasing the very best of Canadian rodeo. We can't think of a better episode to do just that than to spend some time with the real stars of the sport, the contestants. In a year when almost every rodeo has been canceled, it's been tough on the individuals who make their living, giving us fans plenty to cheer about. But just because there aren't any rodeos doesn't mean we aren't cheering for them anyway. So today, we're hearing from a few of the sport's brightest stars. And of course, we couldn't be doing this without the help of Agribition rodeo sponsors like MNP. With me today are three of Canadian rodeo's biggest names and most entertaining athletes: barrel racer Stacey Razika, saddle bronc rider Clay Elliott, and team roper Tuft McLeod. All right, good afternoon, Stacey Razika. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Excellent. Now, Stacey, in 2019, you kind of blew on to the pro rodeo scene and had some amazing successes. What made you finally decide to kick it and go ahead with pro rodeo, and what was the big reason why you came in there and really won so much?
I think I finally had been a couple of years being told to, and I just didn't ever think I was good enough. And my boyfriend got me my card for my Christmas present, so then I thought I better use that wisely. He spent the money on it, so didn't have no expectations going in at all. I just went, and the first couple were a little bit thinking, oh, I'm just going to catch the tail end here, and I don't know about this. And then I ended up winning, was it with Duke and Han Hills the same weekend, and then it was like, okay, that I still thought it's not going to happen again, and then it kept happening 7 times, so it was just like unbelievable. So I think it's a great summer.
Yes, it was a great summer. And could you maybe pick out a defining moment of your summer of 2019 and the season that really brought you to the finals?
A defining moment with Innisfail, because I had went in there, again, no expectation, and I come out and I heard Dave Paulson, loved his voice. He's one of my favorite. When his voice went so high, and when I was winning it by 1/1000th of a second, and I didn't even know what he was talking about, because I didn't even think I would come close. And then I started crying, and it was so emotional, and yeah, getting the flowers, and everyone there was so excited for me and supportive, and yeah, it was a pretty cool. That was like a big moment, because that was something, a bigger rodeo, for me, of course, to win. So yeah.
Excellent and well done. And I'll remember that day too. You picked up the phone and phoned us. You said, we just won Innisfail. And we were all having a pretty loud cheer for you. And and we talk a lot about, with rodeo athletes, especially barrel racers that rely so heavily on their equine partners. And I know you've got 2, but could you go over a little bit of your support system? Who have you got at home, and who keeps you really, you and your horses obviously, healthy and ready, both mentally and physically, going down the road and dealing with such a grueling schedule that the CPRA has?
Well, I'm kind of a sole girl. I do it on my own. I have a great vet, Bailey Stanton, help me along the way with her for anything I needed. Diane Scottapole, #1 person, traveled with me. She was Rookie of the Year 2 years before, and without her, her and I, we had an amazing bond. And Brooke Robertson is a huge person as well. She's always been in my corner, and first person I call when I win a rodeo or do well, and she's always been in my corner, big support.
Excellent. And now I know we were able to catch up with you here today after a long, busy day in the office. Could you maybe just go over for us what it's like balancing a full-time career, both professionally and in the rodeo world, what it is you actually do for a career, and just tell us what it's like, getting up, going to work every day, and coming home and still being motivated enough to get down the road and make as much money as you did.
Well, I'm a dental assistant for 23 years this month. I love my job. I always have. It was a long summer, but I loved it. My work was great. Birchland Dental in Ponoka give me time off to fulfill my dream. And it was a long season, but I wouldn't change anything. It was so awesome. I just had so much fun and met people. As far as the schedule, I just had routine. Every night I would do something different. It would be loading the feed one night, and then getting myself packed, and then the food and shrimp rings, my staples. It was when I think back, people always say to me, how do you do it? How did you make it? But I'm a goer. I don't stop. I don't like to sit around, and that's just in my blood, I guess. So,
Stacey, something I've always respected was, and it shone through at the Canadian Finals last year. You just finished winning over $60,000 in Red Deer at the Canadian Finals Rodeo, and you were up at 7 o'clock and at the office the next day on Monday to go back to work. And that's just the kind of perseverance I would like to show people. And that's what it takes is really working hard. So thank you very much for being a great example in rodeo. Thank you very much for being a great champion, and we appreciate the time.
Thank you for everything.
All right, Stacey, have a good day. All right, Clay, you've been around North America winning rodeos, Canadian champ, 3 trips to the Wrangler National Finals. In your rodeo experience, how are the bigger produced rodeos in Canada stacking up on the world stage?
I feel like they're getting better. Rodeos like the Exhibition, rodeos like Ponoka, they're always going to stand out. You're going to get all the same guys, whether you go to Reno, Nevada, or the Exhibition. So as far as how they stack up, very similar, and it's just exciting how they're improving as the years come along.
Yeah, excellent, thank you. And injuries are something that every cowboy has to deal with, and we hate to keep dwelling on this a little bit, but your story is a little bit of a road to recovery and a guy that's really on his way to winning some more championships. Can you tell us what happened, and can you tell us what you're doing to really get back into the saddle?
Well, in May of 2019, I got on a good horse in Guyman, Oklahoma, and I just kind of had a bad get off and wind up breaking a few vertebrae in my neck. Now they're fused together. One of them deals it's just going to be the way it is. As far as the road to recovery, I've been feeling really good here lately. It's been over a year since the accident. And I can't complain. I got really good range of motion in my neck. I've been working on it with a lady here in town that's like a personal trainer, and I still need some more doctor's appointments and more physio and all this and that. But as far as the road to recovery, it's all looking really good.
Excellent. Part of that road to recovery is learning how to do things right in the first place to avoid injury and win rodeos. Now, you're about to put on a bronc school. Give us a little bit of insight on that with Mona's Bronc Riding School.
Well, it's an event. I believe this is the 4th annual school that we're going to have, and we get such good instructors. We got guys like Dawson Hay, Rod Hay, Zeke Thurston. Sam Keltz is a great instructor. Dustin Flunder will be there as well. Dwayne Bruce will be there. In the past, we've had Glenn O'Neill. So as far as instructors goes, I feel like we have the best that we can get. And then as far as the stock goes, I have Calgary come, and they kind of sponsor the event, so they help me out with that. They bring a few of their younger horses and a few of their older horses. And then I got some other contractors that come just with an old set of horses. So really, I try to get a real broad spectrum of horses for them kids to get on, and it winds up being a very thorough school. We, focusing on safety and all this and that, but it's an opportunity for these kids to whether you're really green or really advanced, you can learn something, and no matter what stage you're at. And what's cool about the event is all the proceeds go to Mona's Cowboy Fund, and that's something that we established, my family has, to help people in the ranch and rodeo game that are experiencing life-altering illness. So we've been able to help a few people along the way, and this Bronc School is one of the main fundraisers for it. So it winds up being just a really fun weekend.
Well, that's awesome, and it's a great way to honor the memory of someone who was such a big fan of rodeo. Now, times are tough in Canada. Everybody kind of knows that, and we see the background to where you are there today in the hat shop, and your family's involved in an industry that services rodeo cowboys and ranchers across Canada. Can you maybe shed a little insight on what you see coming out the other side of these challenges we have right now in 2020 in the rodeo ranching world, and where business is going to go a little bit for the Custom Hat Company?
Well, I feel like cowboys are so resilient. Like something like this, cowboys more so than any other industry, they're going to bounce into it. You know what I mean? As far as the hats and cowboys, we still got lots of orders, and the funny thing is the Cowboys still really is booming, and Cowboys they seem to not be affected by this, and as long as we get rodeos back on we're good.
Well, I've been promising you I'm going to get down there for a custom one here very soon, and the promise is still there. We'll get down just as soon as we possibly can. Thank you very much, Clay. Enjoy the rest of your year, and we'll hopefully see you very soon riding broncs.
Great. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, let's get it underway. Tuft McLeod, team roper extraordinaire. How are you doing? Thank you for joining us here today. No pro rodeos. What have you been up to? Have you been roping? Have you been working? A combination of the two? What's going on?
Yeah, I've been real busy. We've been training lots of team roping horses, and I'm still doing some electrical work here out of Swift Current. There's been tons of jackpots around this summer, so we've been hitting those as much as we can, trying to get some green horses going and get them seasoned that way.
All right, we know that we kind of touched on this already, and you've been able to go quite a few jackpots, but as far as rodeo is concerned, what do you think the biggest obstacle is going to be in staying ready to get down the road and get to as many competitions as pro rodeo requires you to when we have a return to normal, as they say?
For myself, I don't think I'm going to have too much of a challenge as far as being back in the rodeo arena, just because we work really hard at home, and we do practice every single day, and we practice different situations and different types of runs. As far as competing wise, I'm ready. They let us go, and really looking forward to getting back to it though as soon as we can. And we're gonna be sharp when they are ready.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad you're using your time and using it wisely. Now, we know that you rope at pro rodeos with your brother. Is that still the plan? And perhaps you could shed a little light on the nuances of the event. You know, it's the only event in rodeo that involves a team. Does everybody get along together? Do you always agree on where to eat? Who drives the most? Give us a little insight on what it's like in the truck.
Well, our truck can be a little different at times, just because I have two brothers that rope, and in the last 2 years I've roped with my brother Tice. I'm the oldest, so Tice is the middle brother. But this year we had planned that I would rope with my youngest. Looking forward to that. We got to travel together last year. He pro rodeoed last year with us. Traveling can be fun. You know, me and a guy don't always see eye to eye because we live together, we practice together, and then we got to spend all the weekend together. But we pretty much the same, I guess. So as far as stopping, we're okay. We're pretty cheap on the road. We like to save money away. But barbecue a little bit or eat out of the trailer if we can. But it's a lot of fun being able to have my brothers with us, and we always have a full truck. We put on lots of miles coming from Saskatchewan out to Alberta all the time, so it's nice to be able to split fuel 3 ways all the time.
Yeah, we see you put on those miles all the way from BC all the way back to Saskatchewan every day for Monday morning at work. A lot of rodeo fans don't maybe understand that most folks do have a 9 to 5 they got to get back to. So it's great to have those traveling partners, and it's great to have an opportunity to share some of the hardships that is basically driving the whole time. Now, let's get to the meat and potatoes of this. Last year, what was the biggest highlight in qualifying for the Maple Leaf Circuit Finals, aside from, now I'm going to take this part away from you, winning the very first round of the very first performance of the very first Maple Leaf Circuit Finals ever? You know, you stopped the clock and split first and second, and that was awesome. What else was it? Was it basically a hometown crowd for you, and it felt pretty much go ahead, or was there a lot of pressure on it being the first time ever?
I've had some success in that building, actually, in previous events they've had there, and always enjoy going there. It's a great facility. Everybody puts on a good show there, and both my brothers were there. I was roping with Tice, and T had also qualified, so it was kind of exciting leaving that morning. We got to all go up together and camp together that week, and it's fun. There's lots of people and even just walking through the trade shows, you run into so many people that you had no idea were up there, and the people are coming to watch you at the rodeo that you had no idea they were coming. So it's just a very friendly crowd, and a very personal crowd. Just being a hometown feel. Lots of family come up to watch, mom and dad, auntie and uncles, and very, very fun rodeo for us.
You know, one of the things that makes a bit of the trademark of you and your brothers is you're always willing to jump out there and help guys. And as a matter of fact, I'll give you an example. When you were able to jump in there and help the RCMP with the wild cow milking in High Prairie last year, and right down to the first time I ever came to the Agribition Pro Rodeo, and you guys were out there helping the kids rope the dummy and give them a little bit of instruction in the back, you know, and that's really great of you guys to watch and take care of, and just knowing how to get in there. But the question I have for you now is, you see a lot of the youngsters coming up in Saskatchewan and wanting to participate in the team roping sport. What do you think of the future of rodeo and team roping in general in Saskatchewan?
I think Saskatchewan's going to be good. There's lots of kids coming. There's lots of there's some talent, but by talent I mean there's kids that work hard at it. There's the generation coming. They're putting the time in, and it won't be very long before they're out. I don't know. There's lots of interest. It's kind of unlike any other event, I guess, because there's lots of jackpots around. You see, for a couple years, we've done lots of junior roping to the kids ropings, and we're starting to see more of it and more numbers in it. So I'm excited to see it. We love helping kids. We have an indoor arena here at home, and I guess we get that from our dad. He's all about kids and loves kids and loves team sport, team rope and grow, and loves to help people. So we're just trying to pass it on too.
Well, that's very good to hear. Well, thank you very much, and good luck when things do fire up in the pro rodeo world. We'll certainly be looking for your names on the list of the winners, and thanks again for joining us here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for the chat, Tim. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet.
Call JJ Trucking Limited today to get a free quote and a hassle-free experience. JJ Trucking Limited, more than just gravel.
Of course, the best part of the rodeo is the action on the dirt. Let's have a look back at one of the best rides from the Maple Leaf Finals in the Rodeo Re-Ride, presented by Ford. What is it, in a nutshell, that you think makes MNP and Agribition such good partners?
I think what makes us such great partners is that Agribition is just an opportunity to really bring everybody together and to celebrate ag, and I think that's something that at MNP we really try to do as well with our agriculture services, and we're all about celebrating ag and being involved as much as we can. I think Agribition is awesome to be out in the community and to bring everyone together, and we're so happy to be a part of that. We love having boots on the ground, and I think that's what makes us great partners.
That's it for this episode of Maple Leaf Finals Rodeo TV, presented by MNP. You can watch this episode anytime you want at agribition.com. Also, a big tip of the hat to our production company, IKS Media. Next Sunday, we'll take you behind the scenes at Agribition and hear from the people who make the Maple Leaf Finals buck.